Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today it's time for me to answer some more of your questions. These monthly Q&A videos are just talking head pieces, so feel free to just tab out and listen. And as always, chapters to each of the topics you see up on screen will be posted down below if you want to skip ahead to any specific one. Question 1. Do I worry about the future of the game? I understand why many of you feel that way, but honestly, I don't. We always knew that the later phases of this transition were going to be a bit rough, and that's where we have been for the past couple of months. I know some of you are concerned that Deck is going to put the game into maintenance mode, but that's not the case. They have hired full teams to go in and continue developing all of Cryptic's titles, and they wouldn't be committing to that level of investment if they weren't serious about the future. So I do think the game has a positive future ahead of it, but we haven't seen a content drop under Deca's control yet to be able to recognize that. And I think that's where the 15th anniversary is going to be a really huge moment for the future of the game, because that's going to be where we're going to finally be able to see what Deca is capable of. We've seen that their marketing is very effective. The Heritage Bundle was insanely successful with the help of the marketing approach that they took, especially that video. And I think the new ideas that the new team is bringing in, I think that there's a pretty good potential for the 15th anniversary to be one of the best ever for the entire game. And, as for why it's taken so long for them to display this, well, the Cryptic games are on their own proprietary engine. So anyone coming in that they've hired, it takes a bit of time for them to train up and get used to this unique engine. And on the communication front, as some of you have pointed out in some prior videos I've done talking about this, it isn't uncommon during a takeover for the new company not to engage until everything is finalized, especially when dealing with IPs and shifting things between countries. There are simply some legal barriers that take time to navigate. And I can say that following my video I did going over questions for Deca, I was approached and assured that communication is going to ramp up as the transition progresses. I don't know when that's going to be, but given that Kale was just laid off this past week, I would imagine sometime in the very near future. Question 2. Do I have any predictions for the 15th anniversary bundle? We are still months out from that. That's going to be dropping in the middle of February, so over 2.5 months from when this video is being recorded. But I think it's pretty safe to say, given how successful the Heritage Bundle was, that bundle became one of the top 5 best-selling bundles of all time for the game within days of its launch on PC before it even hit console. It was so crazy popular on PC, the Arc website actually crashed at one point from how many people were trying to log in and buy Zen. That is head-turning levels of success, and I have to imagine management was immediately scrambling for ways to try and repeat that success. So my expectation is the 15th anniversary itself is probably going to see levels of hype and marketing, probably not seen in a very long time for this game. Again, that's going to be some of the final content folks over at Cryptic worked on, and it's going to be some of the first content some of the new folks at Deca worked on. So it's a really big moment for the game. They're going to market it, quite heavily. And then probably about 2 weeks later, we're going to see a huge marketing push for the 15th bundle. And given the Heritage Bundle's success, I have to imagine that we're probably looking at basically a Heritage Bundle 2.0. And what that means is it's probably going to be another pure Federation bundle. And it's going to have some of the other ships that they have seen people begging everywhere for, such as the Ark Royale. So that is my expectation, is that the 15th anniversary bundle is probably just a Heritage Bundle 2.0, because they want to try and repeat the insanely high levels of success that they had with the first bundle. Question 3. How long is it taking for dilithium exchange orders to process? So with the backlog at 13.3 million right now, and the DilEx processing about 225,000 Zen worth of DIL per day, You're looking at an order posted today taking around 2 months to go through. Now, that could be sped up if there's an increase in deal demand from things like a Phoenix event, an upgrade event, or a Vanity Shield event. But, I think realistically, you have to be planning out 2 months ahead with the current market. And that could easily get worse as we move into December. So if you're looking to use dilithium to get Zen for the 15th bundle and you want it day one in the middle of February, then you're going to need to make sure your dilithium order is posted in the first 2 weeks of December. Question 4, why are lockbox ships and items getting more expensive? So I have talked about this many times in the past, but the answer is that the Infinity lockbox has some critical flaws that Cryptic was not able to address. Hopefully Deca can. So the first is that choice packs themselves can't be traded or sold. And if you look at the Infinity T6 ship choice pack, there is just shy of 70 choices in that box, and the seller has to pick which one they want to sell. So that means that people tend to default to the meta or popular ship picks, and there's a lot of ships that just end up with no supply on the market. If the choice packs were unbound and could be sold or traded, then the person actually wanting to open that ship box could go in and pick that up fairly easily and just pick the ship from that they wanted. And that would greatly help with the supply situation for ships on the market. Now, the other issue with Infinity, especially when it comes to things like duty officer packs, is they're not in the choice pack. The Borg duty officer packs, which everyone complains about the prices, the reason those are so expensive is if you're opening Infinity, the drop rate on those Borg DOF packs is lower than the ship. The T6 Grand Prize ship is more likely to drop than a Borg duty officer pack from Infinity. That's why most of the people farming the Borg DOF packs still open the original Borg lockbox. But that's an issue for a lot of DOF packs, and those DOF packs have their own RNG. A DOF like 27 has a 1 out of 45 drop rate from that pack. And if you're getting it from Infinity, something that has a lower drop rate than the ship, then having a 1 out of 45 drop rate to get the DOF you're looking for, that's why you've got DOFs approaching or exceeding ship prices, because they have such an absurdly low drop rate. If they were in choice packs, that would greatly help their supply, but until we see some changes to the Infinity lockbox, the issues we're seeing with supply for multiple parts of it are just going to continue to worsen over time. Question 5, what is the best experimental weapon right now? The hexacannons from the Achilles. That is the answer. The Gorn Hunter one is still nice for some plasma builds, but there's been some recent testing showing that the hexacannons are even pulling ahead of the plasma bombardier on plasma builds. So you've got the hexacannons S tier, the Gorn Hunter one I'd put A tier. There's nothing in B tier. There's nothing in C tier. You've got a couple like the Gold type, the Sultan that I'd put in D tier, and then everything else is even further down below. The hexacannons, if you're ignoring the Gorn Hunter one, then the hexacannons are just in a league of their own above every other experimental weapon out there. There's no reason to use any other experimental weapon right now unless you're doing a theme build. The answer is hexacannons. That's it. There's nothing comes close to them aside from the Gorn, and even then, the Gorn is currently losing. Question 6, with the upcoming sale, am I getting any MUDs bundles? I am still debating. I'm still thinking about Disco Inferno, but I am leaning towards no. If they had done a MUDs bundle sale 6-7 months ago, I would have bought that bundle without hesitation. But the issue is, I've already got a D7 Miracle Worker Flight Deck Carrier on most of my main characters that I care about. The characters I don't have it on, I no longer have an interest in working on. The plans I had to work on an engineer and a science, just those ideas have faded because of how long of a delay it's been since the last sale. The Ball Sentry ship just doesn't do anything for me when I have the Nidarian Defender on account wide unlock. And for the Jovian, I've already got that on a character, and I already know that it's not really that great. So, now that enough time has settled for me to really think about it, my interest in picking up Disco Inferno for my specific situation has faded. The other bundles, that I would be interested in, I've already got them. So I am leaning towards not taking advantage of this sale and just saving my Zen to see what happens next year. And question 7, why do my stream VODs have so many ads? So I am going to show some stuff up on screen now, but when I'm doing a stream, I have it set so it will show an ad around every 24 minutes, and it's going to base that on when you started viewing the stream. But the issue is with YouTube is that afterwards, it will ignore that setting, and it will go in and automatically place a ton of ads whenever there's silence in the stream. So because I don't tend to have like any background music and my game audio can be low at points, if there's a point where I'm quiet for a couple seconds, it's going to pick that up and it's going to look to put an ad in there. So if you're watching a VOD and you notice that there is just an absurd amount of ads, just let me know, and I can go through and just remove them. I need to get better at just remembering to do that myself, but I don't want the ads to be so aggressive like this. So it's just a matter of then me going in afterwards and clearing it up like you see there, and then hitting save. So again, if you're watching a stream VOD and you see a ton of excessive ads like that, just leave a comment and let me know and I'll clear them up. And that's going to be it for today. As always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.